So we begin tonight by taking a quick look back at the 2020 NBA draft. And as you all know, there were a wide variety of superstars actually taken in this particular draft. Ant-Man number 1, LaMelo Ball went number 3, Tyrese Halliburton went number 12, lots of other good, even Desmond Bane is in this draft, and he went 30. Now, if you're the Golden State Warriors and you could actually hop in your DeLorean and go back to the future, do you think the Golden State Warriors would actually replace that James Wiseman card with a Tyrese Maxey card? That is one of the questions we're going to talk about tonight on the NBA Rundown. I want to know what your thoughts are on the 21st pick in the 2020 draft. Tyrese Maxey, who at this point is absolutely pulled off a total coup on the court in Philadelphia, because he is now the primary superstar on that Philadelphia 76ers team. Welcome back to the NBA Rundown North America. As always, I am Dave DeBaugh. I bring you daily National Basketball Association news and commentary, as I mentioned, every single day. New to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And of course, if you do like this video, go ahead and like it. Look, at the end of the day, what we are seeing from Tyrese Maxey at this point is absolutely fantastic. Currently, he is second in the National Basketball Association in scoring, averaging over 32 points a game, just behind Luka Doncic, who's currently averaging 34 points a game. And of course, LeBron James, I believe, is actually coming back tonight. That being said, when Joel Embiid has played with Tyrese Maxey so far this season, it has been very clear that this is Tyrese Maxey's team. We saw good old Paul George show up last night for the first time this season. And this is not the same Paul George from 10 years ago. This is not the same Paul George from 5 years ago. This is today's Paul George. And certainly today's Paul George will actually, if you will, become the garnishment connected to Tyrese Maxey at this point. Clearly, last night in the NBA player of the night or of the day, whether or not you like night or day, when talking about the best player, it was Tyrese Maxey. Now, I'm pulling up what the Joker actually pulled off last night. And of course, this is Joker-like stuff. I mean, the Joker was just absolutely phenomenal last night. And if they had actually figured out how to win, he might have actually won the player of the day from the NBA Rundown. 36 points, 18 rebounds, and 13 assists in a game. I mean, this is what the greatest basketball player in the world actually looks like. It still blows me away just how good Nikola Jokic actually is. But on today's show, I really want to focus not on that as much as talking about Tyrese Maxey and the Tyrese Maxey takeover of the Philadelphia 76ers at this point. We know that Tyrese has had a hell of a season, lots of games over 30 points, less than a handful of games at this point, over 40 points. Tyrese is clearly taking his shots when they're available. He's not being a total ball hog. He's not actually shooting poorly from the field at all. I mean, taking a look at his stats so far this season, you have to be absolutely impressed. Now, as I mentioned, over 32 points a game, 4.9 rebounds a game, 7.7 assists a game, thus removing the ball hog from a consideration when talking about how well he's actually scoring the ball. And then his field goal shooting percentage is 45.6. Even more impressive than that, especially for the kind of player that Tyrese Maxey actually is is his three-point percentage. He's actually sitting there at 41.3 right now and is averaging 3.8 points, 3.8 three-pointers per game. There's only a couple people above him, and as you might imagine, one of those people is Steph Curry, who's averaging over 3 three-pointers or over 4 made three-pointers per game. Look, at the end of the day, I ended up actually sitting down last night and watching the entire Los Angeles Clippers game against the Philadelphia 76ers. And Tyrese Maxey, if he wasn't on the court at all last night, the 76ers would have lost and James Harden would have led the Clippers to victory. I almost feel bad for James Harden at this point because clearly there's going to be a ton of the Clippers sucks videos populate YouTube and, of course, TikTok throughout the next 48-hour NBA news cycle. But when we think about this Philadelphia 76ers team, they are currently in 6th spot in the Eastern Conference. So far this season, they've actually won 8 games against 5 losses. We know just how good VJ Edgecombe has been to this point during the season as well, especially as a rookie. Now, I think at some point we'll see VJ in the next year or two take a step further forward from sort of where he's at this point. But VJ in the game last night actually did extraordinarily well, which of course shouldn't actually surprise any of us. VJ had 14 points. He had 6 assists and 6 rebounds in the game. One of the really encouraging things about VJ is he's willing to give up the ball. He's also very good, and I think he's been learning from Tyrese on this, to take his shots when they're available. In other words, he's picking and choosing his spots. And what we've seen from Tyrese Maxey so far this season is exactly that. He is picking and choosing where he's actually going to shoot from, when he's actually going to shoot, and he's not just sitting behind the three-point arc just taking a bunch of shots like he's a Boston Celtic. No, Tyrese Maxey is going to the hole a lot as well. Look, at the end of the day, this Philadelphia 76ers team might not be the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think it's safe to say that they're probably going to finish somewhere between 5 and 7 when the season's all said and done. And sure, they could be a threat during the playoffs. I doubt we'll actually see that this year, but from a player improvement standpoint over the last 3 years, nobody in the NBA has taken as big a leap forward as Tyrese Maxey has in the last 3 years. He did win our Player of the Day yesterday. Love to know your thoughts, North America, on the Philadelphia 76ers. Where do you think they're ultimately going to end up? And where do you think Tyrese Maxey is going to end up this year from a scoring points per game? Do you think he's going to actually stick at 32 points per game? Do you think he's going to fall off a little bit? I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. I think barring any kind of major injury, I think Tyrese could actually finish the season north of 30 points per game. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, for the NBA Rundown, I am Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.